Imagine a machine that costs $2 billion, looks like an alien spacecraft, and can fly across the world to drop a nuclear payload without ever appearing on an enemy's radar. It is the most expensive aircraft ever built, a flying wing that effectively deleted the concept of air defense from the military dictionary. This is the B-2 Spirit. For decades, it has been the ultimate ghost of the United States Air Force, a weapon so secret and so lethal that only 21 were ever made. It doesn't hide behind speed or altitude, it hides in the gaps between the radio waves themselves. Today, we are going inside the classified world of the stealth bomber to see why the B-2 is the most intimidating weapon of the modern era, and why, in the high-stakes game of global deterrence, the most dangerous enemy is the one you literally cannot see. The origin of the B-2 Spirit is a story of ultimate technological paranoia. In the late 1970s, the Pentagon realized that Soviet radar technology was becoming so advanced that even the supersonic B-1 Lancer might not be able to penetrate their airspace. They needed something radical, a machine that didn't just evade radar, but essentially absorbed it. Under the Advanced Technology Bomber program, Northrop Grumman revived a dream from the 1940s, the flying wing. By removing the tail and the fuselage, they eliminated the surfaces that usually bounce radar waves back to the enemy, creating a shape that looked more like a boomerang than a traditional airplane. Engineering the B-2 was a masterpiece of materials science. The aircraft is covered in a secret, radar-absorbent coating that feels like rubber but acts like a black hole for radio energy. Every gap, every screw, and every seam is filled with a specialized ram putty to ensure the skin is perfectly smooth. This extreme attention to detail means that a 170-foot wide bomber appears on a radar screen as something smaller than a large insect. This low observable profile is why the B-2 cost so much to develop. Every inch of the aircraft was a battle against the laws of physics and the sensitivity of the enemy's sensors. But the real engineering challenge was making a flying wing stable. Without a traditional tail, the B-2 is inherently unstable in the air. It wants to flip over or spin out of control. To solve this, engineers had to rely on a quadruple redundant fly-by-wire computer system that makes thousands of tiny adjustments to the flight surfaces every second. The pilot doesn't just fly the B-2, they give the computer suggestions, and the computer does the impossible task of keeping the billion-dollar wing level. This digital brain is the only thing that keeps this aerodynamic nightmare from falling out of the sky. Inside the cockpit, the atmosphere is a mix of high-tech focus and extreme endurance. The B-2 is designed for missions that can last over 30 hours, flying from Missouri to the other side of the planet and back without landing. The two-man crew, a pilot and a mission commander, operate in a pressurized glass cockpit filled with multiple screens that monitor everything from the jet's thermal signature to the status of its nuclear payload. There is even a small space behind the seats with a cot and a microwave, allowing one crew member to rest while the other manages the ghostly transit through enemy territory. When the B-2 was first revealed to the public in 1988, it looked like it belonged in a science fiction movie. The high price tag, roughly $2.2 billion per aircraft when accounting for development, nearly led to its cancellation. Critics called it an expensive toy for a Cold War that was already ending. But the Air Force knew what the world didn't. The B-2 wasn't just a bomber, it was a sovereign asset. It provided the United States with the ability to strike any target on Earth, at any time, with total impunity. The gamble was trillions of dollars, and the prize was the absolute control of the shadows. The most terrifying feature of the B-2 is its unblinking eye. The aircraft is equipped with the N/APG-181 radar, a specialized LPI, low probability of intercept, system. This radar can map the ground in high definition from 60,000 feet while changing its frequency so rapidly that the enemy's radar warning receivers never even know they are being scanned. It allows the B-2 to see the battlefield through clouds, smoke, and total darkness, identifying mobile missile launchers or hidden bunkers with surgical precision while the bomber remains completely invisible to the defenders below. Firepower on the B-2 is stored in two massive internal weapon bays, maintaining its stealthy profile. It can carry up to 40,000 pounds of ordnance, ranging from 80 16-round rotary launchers for smart bombs to 16 B-83 nuclear gravity bombs. But its most famous conventional weapon is the bunker buster, the 30,000-pound GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator. The B-2 is the only aircraft in the world capable of carrying this monster, which is designed to punch through 60 feet of reinforced concrete before detonating. If you are hiding in an underground mountain fortress, the B-2 is the only weapon that can reach you. The stealth of the B-2 isn't just about radar, it's about acoustic and thermal silence. The four General Electric F-118 engines are buried deep inside the wing, with their exhaust vents located on the upper surface. This design hides the hot engine gases from infrared sensors on the ground and significantly reduces the sound of the engines. People on the ground often report that they didn't even hear the B-2 until it was directly overhead, and even then, it sounded like a gentle whisper rather than a four-engine jet. It is a predator that strikes with a level of silence that is truly haunting. Accuracy is managed by the Joint Direct Attack Munition or JDAM system, which the B-2 helped pioneer. In the 1999 Kosovo conflict, a single B-2 could destroy 16 different targets in one pass using GPS-guided bombs. This surgical carpet bombing capability was a massive shift in military history. One B-2 could do the work that previously required an entire squadron of B-52s and dozens of escort fighters. It turned the heavy bomber from a mass destruction tool into a precision strike scalpel, capable of taking out a specific floor of a building from the edge of the stratosphere. To handle the physical and digital stress of its missions, the B-2 relies on an onboard maintenance system that monitors the health of the radar-absorbent skin. Even a small scratch can increase the jet's radar signature, so the aircraft is kept in specialized climate-controlled hangars that maintain the integrity of its secret coatings. This high-maintenance lifestyle is the price of invisibility. The B-2 is a diva of the sky, requiring hundreds of man-hours of care for every hour of flight, but when it is ready, it is the most lethal tool in the American arsenal, a machine that ensures that the first day of the war always belongs to the United States. The B-2's combat debut in 1999 during Operation Allied Force in Kosovo was a shock to the world. Flying non-stop 30-hour missions from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, the B-2s were responsible for destroying 33% of all Serbian targets in the first 2 months. This was the ultimate proof of global reach. The Spirit didn't need to be based in Europe, it could strike from the American heartland, refuel in midair over the Atlantic, and return home for dinner. It was a demonstration of power that no other nation could replicate. During the early days of the Iraq War in 2003, the B-2 was used to decapitate the Iraqi leadership. It flew through the world's most dense anti-aircraft networks, dropping precision-guided bombs on bunkers and command centers in downtown Baghdad. The hype was real. The Iraqis had advanced Soviet-made radars, but they never saw the B-2s. The only sign of the bomber's presence was the sudden, simultaneous explosion of multiple strategic targets. The B-2 proved it was the ultimate lockpicker, opening the door for the rest of the Air Force to enter the conflict safely. In 2011, the B-2 demonstrated its endurance once again during Operation Odyssey Dawn in Libya. 3 B-2s flew another marathon mission from Missouri to North Africa, destroying 45 targets in a single night. This included Libyan aircraft shelters and radar sites, effectively ending Gaddafi's air power in a few hours. This mission highlighted the B-2's role as a strategic eraser, a machine that is brought in to remove an entire nation's military capabilities before they even realize a war has started. The psychological impact of the B-2 is its omnipresence. Because an enemy never knows where a B-2 is, they have to behave as if it is everywhere. This stealth deterrence is a vital tool of American diplomacy. When tensions rise in the Pacific or Europe, the US often deploys B-2s to Guam or the UK. This isn't just a military move, it's a message. It says to the adversary, we can hit your most protected assets, and you won't even see the end coming. This fear factor is what has prevented countless conflicts from escalating into full-scale war. Despite its success, the B-2 fleet has suffered one tragic loss. In 2008, a B-2 named Spirit of Kansas crashed during takeoff in Guam due to moisture in its air data sensors. The 2 pilots ejected safely, but a $2 billion machine was turned into a pile of charred titanium and carbon fiber. It was the most expensive crash in aviation history and a sobering reminder of how delicate these digital ghosts can be. It reduced the total fleet to just 20 aircraft, making each remaining B-2 a priceless national treasure that is managed with the utmost care. The final analysis of the B-2 Spirit is the story of a machine that achieved the impossible. It proved that a flying wing can be stable, that stealth can be applied to a heavy bomber, and that global reach is a reality. The B-2 established the blueprint for the 21st century's invisible war. It has outlived its Cold War critics and remains the most technologically advanced aircraft in active service, a benchmark that even 30 years later, no other nation has been able to match or counter. The legacy of the Spirit can be seen in the newly revealed B-21 Raider. While the Raider is smaller and designed for mass production, it is a direct descendant of the B-2's flying wing design. The B-2 taught the Air Force that stealth isn't just a feature, it's the foundation of modern strike. The Spirit served as the laboratory for the technologies that will now be used to build a fleet of over 100 B-21s, ensuring that the shadow of the wing remains a permanent law of the aerial battlefield for the next century. Today, the B-2 is undergoing its most significant upgrades yet. It is being integrated with new digital weapons, including the B-61-12 nuclear bomb and advanced long-range cruise missiles. It is also receiving a massive overhaul of its communication suites, allowing it to act as a stealthy node in a massive network of satellites and drones. The B-2 is no longer just a bomber, it is a digital sovereign, a machine that coordinates the hunt from the shadows while remaining the most lethal threat in the sky. The cultural legacy of the B-2 is one of absolute awe and mystery. It is the plane that everyone recognizes but no one truly understands. It is a symbol of American overmatch, a machine that was built to ensure that no enemy could ever feel safe. For the pilots who fly the Spirit, it is a sacred trust. They are the keepers of the most expensive secret in military history, flying a machine that feels more like a spaceship than a traditional bomber. The B-2 is the embodiment of the phrase victory through invisibility. Standing next to a B-2 today, you feel its imposing, alien, and absolute presence. It looks like it was carved from a single piece of dark glass, radiating a sense of silent, terrifying power. It doesn't look like a relic of the 1980s, it looks like the future of war. From the alien wing of the past to the nuclear deterrent of today, the Spirit has remained the ultimate tool of global security. It is the machine that ensures the world knows that the United States owns the night, turning stealth logic into a permanent guarantee of global stability. The B-2 Spirit is more than a bomber, it is a $2 billion guarantee of air superiority. It proved that in the modern era, the most important armor is the ability to remain unseen while possessing the power to strike with absolute violence. It is a masterpiece of fire, radar-absorbent materials, and digital logic that redefined victory itself. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the billion-dollar ghost. Is the B-2 the greatest aircraft ever built, or has the age of drone swarms finally ended the era of the manned bomber? Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe as we continue to explore the fire and steel of history. Peace out.